Let's talk about cancer and the lymphatic system. Why are these two things connected? Well, cancer is an ever-evolving process of your own cells. So you have to imagine, in order for cells to divide, to replace themselves in a healthy way, they have to have the means to do that. So most of our cells have a way to naturally reproduce. Now, what cancer is when we get a mutation, something goes wrong naturally, something we do like smoking or eating heavy metals, whatever. It alters the DNA of our replicating cells, and they lose the ability to regulate. And not only that, they actually start mutating, or they actually start replicating out of control. And while they're doing that, they're acquiring new abilities through the process of natural selection. So you get cells that normally would be picked up by the immune system and destroyed that can now evade the immune system. And then they're like, oh, you know what? I've also learned that I can slough off a few cells. And those few cells may find their way into a lymphatic vessel. Now, the first ones may just be killed. They may end up someplace where there's not an environment for them to proliferate, to replicate. But as that happens over and over and over with millions and millions of cells, they gain abilities. And eventually you have one that can not only separate, it can get into the lymphatic vessels, and then it finds a place that's hospitable, that it has the mutations and ability to connect to. A lot of times the lung or the liver or the bone provide these places, and they start to grow there. And that is where you get metastasis. So the spreading of cancer. Now, you can see the lymphatic vessels are particularly dangerous because not only do they drain the entire body here, so it gives sort of a subway network for them to get to, the lymphatic system also goes back to the blood. So as these mutations occur over and over, not only do they have the chance to get into the lymphatic system, they can actually end up in the blood and spread that way as well. Here's a hard extra credit question for you. Why is chemotherapy a poison used against cancer? What is it specifically about cancer that makes it so vulnerable to chemotherapy? And bonus fact, there are forms of chemotherapy that are found in nature, that were found in nature. So when people are like, oh, well, natural remedies and, big pharma and all that stuff, well, that's where we got some of the chemotherapies. But why do we use them against cancer?